In recent years, the gluten-free industry has exploded.
The gluten-free diet is the most popular diet ever in the United States, with a budget that goes over $10 billion of revenues a year.
But what's a choice for some is a very serious and sometimes confusing health issue for many others.
It's an autoimmune disease.
Dr. Alessio Fasano directs Mass General Hospital's Center for Celiac Research and Treatment. Here, scientists and doctors study what actually causes the autoimmune disease called celiac.
The trigger is gluten that is contained in several grains that will eventually start this chain of events that leads to the destruction of the intestine.
Gluten is found in many grains, including barley, rye, and most common, wheat.
We didn't evolve actually to eat this grain, wheat. Matter of fact, it was introduced only 10,000 years ago. So our ancestor for almost 2.5 million years have been gluten-free. Therefore, we don't have the enzymes to completely dismantle this protein.
When some people consume gluten, the body sees the protein as an enemy.
The vast majority of people, 80+%, will see this enemy. The immune system will do its job, mount immune responses. There is a subgroup of people, though, that when this happens, will eventually develop symptoms, and these are, the 1% of people with celiac disease, the 0.4, 0.5% of people with allergy, and a question mark number of people with gluten sensitivity.
One reason celiac disease can be hard to diagnose is because there are a lot of different symptoms that come out of it. Gas and bloating is one, diarrhea is another, failure to gain weight, and people who get heavy.
Lee Graham is executive director of the Dedham-based New England Celiac Organization. Diagnosed with celiac as a baby, she was told she'd grown out of it before being re-diagnosed in her 40s.
Nationally, it's about 1 in 120. We see the average age of children getting diagnosed at 7. The average age for adults is 40.
Staying on a strict gluten-free diet can be difficult.
For celiacs, the gluten-free diet is like insulin for diabetics.
Those of us on a celiac diet, it's gluten-free, have to stay under 20 parts per million. How do you measure that? Well, one of the visuals I like to tell people is get a piece of bread, break it into 7,030 pieces. One piece is 20 parts per million, which is what we have to stay under. And it's hard to be that diligent.
Eating out can be even harder. Graham praises Framingham State University's dining system for its gluten-free options.
What I really liked when I came to Framingham State was to see that the gluten-free food was in the main dining room and nobody was sequestered. The way they've incorporated everybody in the same room allows people to be with their friends, allows to get food that they won't get sick from. I was really impressed with that.
Celiac destroys the lining of the small intestine, preventing nutrients from being absorbed properly. If left untreated, celiac can wreak havoc on the entire body in a variety of ways.
Anemia, fatigue, joint pain, skin rash, headaches, and short memory loss, or anxiety, depression, and miscarriages, infertility, and again, osteoporosis, and so on and so forth.
Fortunately, there is a way to recover from celiac disease and gluten sensitivity. Stop eating gluten, period. Increasing numbers of people test negative for the disease but still display celiac-type symptoms. The research on non-celiac gluten sensitivity is still uncertain, although Mass General estimates that 6% of Americans have it.
We don't have tests, as we do for celiac disease and with allergy, to figure out who has it, and therefore we can't even quantify the phenomenon. This is like deja vu. This is where we were 30 years ago with celiac disease. We didn't have tests. We didn't have an idea what we were talking about. Some people question even the existence of celiac disease.
But if you think you might have a problem with gluten, don't self-diagnose.
Go to your doctor, ask for the blood test that can see if your antibodies have risen. Then if you find that's a positive, then you can have an endoscopy or you may want to go on the gluten-free diet.